A balance.
I've
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni
done
o.
live. I've done live. We are live now. We are live now.
Okay.
So I'll start playing some videos.
Okay.
Tell me. You can blank me out. I should do what?
Or
For
mute.
comment. Know where I am. Have you posted for me? Yes, I have. Huh?
Food is life, and it is on the basis of this that every single human on the planet look for food for survival. Because food is the foundation of our growth and healthy living, yet it is affected by series of avoidable dangers from every angle. We can strengthen our food systems and change the narrative through a new approach to improved food availability and healthy diet.
Welcome to Urban Family Farming,
where we explore the exciting world of urban farming. Learn how to transform your living space into a green oasis with our expert tips and tricks. Join us on a journey towards sustainable living and discover the joy of growing your own food in the heart of the city.
My name is Deborah Tai Balusibina, a teacher, counselor, and I'm interested in farming. Okay, it was organized by Goland, and in May we had a physical training, and I was one of the participants in the training. We were taught about vegetable farming and how we can have a small garden in the house. You don't need a lot of space. All you just need is just a little space. You could plant your seeds in sack bags or buckets. And when I came home, basically, I tried to do that. Okay, when I came, we were given some seedlings. I planted some pepper, ugu, and cucumber. Though I have harvested them, but I still have a lot of the pepper that are growing and are doing very well. And I have some ugu that is coming up. And then I also have a small poultry farm that I learned to from the training. Wow, it has been wonderful because it has given me a new thought pattern. I've decided that it's not everything I need to buy from the market. So sometimes when I need some of these vegetables, I just go to my garden and I just pick them up. So it has really helped me, and it has also helped me to appreciate nature, to know that I can grow things myself, I can see them grow, and it can be useful to me.
So what would you advise for people who want to join this program but are not sure?
My advice would just be, first, they need to be interested, and they need to just make up mind. Yes, it is hard work because you have to till the ground, water it, and all that. So it is what everybody can do. So it's all about mindset and interest, and that's what has helped me.
So I want to video this one. Where is that cucumber? Give me my cucumber self.
Where is the? What's that song? Who's your guy? Who's your
Spiral. It's called Who's Your Guy.
Who's your guy?
Yeah.
Okay. Please let me send a message to her. That is Stella.
Audio is from your end. It's not coming out.
I want to send you the video. I can't hear. I can't hear anything. Hello?
I muted you.
And I'm just saying I can't hear anything.
They are all on mute.
Hello, hello.
Yes, hello. I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Hello, good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
Good evening.
We're good, Newt.
This is fresh out of the market FCTA first mandate secretary. Good to have you, man.
Thank you. It's a pleasure
Good
to
to
be
have
here.
you. Good to have you.
Great to be
You are
here. Great. Thank
looking
you.
very, very, very beautiful this evening, man.
I try to look like a garden.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Amen.
We can't wait to have you by 6 o'clock. Thank you so much for
You're welcome.
coming on board with us at the Urban Family Farming Community Limited. Thank you so much, ma. Thank you so much. Mommy Adetunji, are you there? And is
I'm here.
Mommy Olishola still there?
I'm here.
Okay, good to have you too. Thank you so much. In fact, we want to appreciate you for the connection, bringing in
We're not hearing you.
Oh, we can't hear.
I hope it didn't freeze.
What?
I hope it didn't freeze.
okay. So by 6 on the dot, I think it's 6 now.
It's 6,
So
yeah.
we're
6
live
on the
now,
dot. It's 6 on the dot.
Yep.
then we'll be
And we are live already.
Yeah.
We are live and alive.
Brand new thing. You seem to be fading on.
starting in about 10 seconds. We should be. I'm sure we are all fired up. at the comment section. They're all fired up. Drop your emoji.
You are missing. You are breaking, please. You are muting. You are breaking.
Where's his network? I guess his network.
I love the way Mr. Obie he just keeps smiling.
Yes, I think it's
I'm wondering, is it frozen? Is that a frozen smile or a real smile?
It's a frozen one. It's a frozen one. It's a frozen
it's
one.
a
It's
I'd
frozen.
frozen.
like you to share the
Yes.
YouTube link on your.
Okay,
Okay.
it's gone off.
He has gone. He has gone off. He has gone off.
Okay, so I think we should just
Madam
okay.
PS, I'm going to send you my video. Have you sent it? The new
You have
one.
not. I hope you can still. But somebody can. You can play it by yourself.
I should play it by myself. How would I play it?
No, I will just give you access. I will just give you access.
Okay, so when will I play it? At the end. Play the one you have first, and then
Yes,
at some point I will play the other one.
That is it.
yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Bless you.
Mommy, you may need to introduce yourself since Newton is not there. Okay,
It's
it's
all
Okay,
fine.
over.
I'm up now.
Please, you
Okay,
are.
please
I'm
It's
go
up.
going off
ahead.
and me.
Go ahead.
Yes, I'm up. So,
Okay.
please, can you share the link? Please, can you share the link in your status?
You need to share the link now.
Share it,
What I was saying on your story, that's like
your social
So you have to share.
media.
check on
Share
your
the link
story.
with your network. Can you please share the link? Good
We have done
evening.
that.
Good evening.
Ranilton, can you please start?
Please go
They want me
ahead.
to start. People are already joining. Ranilton. Okay.
Please share the link of my story. You have my phone, don't you? Ask Pearl if you have my phone. Where's my
Okay.
phone?
Please, I want to start with the opening remarks
Yes,
since
please, ma'am.
Ranilton is not around.
Yes.
I welcome you all to our Who is Your Farmer series, where we will explore the vital roles of local agriculture and the individuals who cultivate the food that sustains us. Today, we will delve into the intriguing question of who is your farmer and examine how it contrasts with the more familiar inquiries of who is your doctor, who is your lawyer, and who is your fashion designer. In our modern society, we often rely on professionals in various fields to meet our needs and fulfill our desires. We seek out trusted doctors for our health concerns, knowledgeable lawyers for legal guidance, and talented fashion designers to express our personal style. But when it comes to the source of our food, we do not bother to ask questions. Do we ask the same questions? Do we know who is responsible for growing the fruits, the vegetables, and grains that nourish our bodies? Just as we trust professionals in our other fields to guide us, so too can we trust in the expertise and dedication of our local farmers to provide us with whole nourishing foods. As we consider the contrast between who is your farmer and other questions we commonly ask, let's reflect on the importance of knowing the origins of our food and support local agriculture. By connecting with local farmers and embracing sustainable agricultural practice, we can take control of our food choices, promote food security, and build stronger, more resilient communities. Today, we will challenge ourselves to think differently. We will explore the idea that you can be your own farmer, that each of us has the potential to cultivate our own food, regardless of our background or experience. In a world where food production often seems distant and disconnected from our daily life, it is easy to forget that we all have the power to cultivate our own food right in our own homes and communities. Whether it's a small garden plot on your balcony, or raised bed in your backyard, or a community garden in your neighborhood, the opportunity to grow your own food is
Right.
within reach.
Yes. It's already.
By asking the question, who is your farmer? We are not just seeking to learn about the faces behind the food. We are also inviting you to become an active participant in the food system, to take ownership of your food choices, and to embrace the role of a steward of the land. So, throughout our program series, we will hear inspiring stories from local farmers who have dedicated their lives to sustainable agriculture and community empowerment. We will explore the benefits of knowing your farmer, from supporting local economies to enjoying fresher, healthier produce. And most importantly, we will discover how each and every one of us can take practical steps to become our own farmer, no matter where we live or how much space we have. So whether you are a seasoned gardener or a complete novice, I invite you to join us on this journey of discovery and empowerment. Let's embrace the idea that we can all be our own farmer, cultivating a deeper connection to the land and the food that sustains us. Thank you for being here today. Let's sow the seed of change together. Remain blessed and thank you.
Thank you very much. The network has been fluctuating as well. Thank you so much for that opening remark. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Um, um, the founder and vice president Poland Help Initiative, person of Mrs. Olushola Idowu, just give us an opening remarks. And she is the vice president of Golan Helps, which is a non-for-profit organization that provides free food to vulnerable households. And just like she had introduced herself, she is the vice president for Urban Family Farming Community. She is a retired federal permanent secretary of the Ministry of Budget and National Planning, and of course, was a former national convener of the United Nations Food Systems Dialogue in Nigeria. He is currently an officer of the Order of Niger. Thank you so much for that wonderful remark. So quickly, we are going to a very short video because this Who is a Farmer series is
Every woman plants a garden in your home. This is a competition that makes every woman a winner. It's not just about the 20 million naira winners in December, each one from the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. Every woman becomes a winner with her own horticultural habitat created in her backyard. For me, this has been an amazing engagement. I've had this backyard like forever, and I've always been like, oh, you know. But you know what? To save myself from this, what would cost me approximately 1,000 naira per datashe by the time it comes out, and I can get 5,000 naira and I have how many here, at the end of it, please, even though I'm not in the competition to compete, I'm in it to become a demonstration of the fact that we all can do it. We all should do it, and we all must do one thing. Take something, plant one thing, start with one, and you find there's so much else you can do. This is marigold. It's not just about the flower, it's about its herb, tea properties. You know I love tea. And then over here, we've got the Haribo peppers. We are planting yam, sweet potato in bags. Yes, every woman is a winner once she can put a garden in her home. And once you do that, it's not about winning your 20 million naira. Good. It's more important about the fact that you become a winner for the value chain of food on your table, food for your neighbors, and food for our nation. What are you still waiting for? Come on, let's get to work.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that interesting video, fantastic video. I'll be introducing our guest speaker. I'll be introducing our guest speaker now, and just permits me to read out our profile. I've tried as much as possible to abridge it, and so just listen attentively. Honorable Dr. Adedayo Benjamin Laniyu is the pioneer mandate secretary for the FCTA Women Affairs Secretariat. Up until her appointment, she functioned as the executive managing director, Doxa Group. She is the wife of the presiding pastor of the RCCG Throne Room Parish, Pastor Tunde Benjamin Laniyi. Known for her versatility and passion for humanity, Dr. Adedayo has served and is still serving in several life-transforming programs such as the Dream Girl Africa, Half Whip, CSO NGO, Bold and Beautiful, and currently she is the FCT coordinator for the RHI and initiative of the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, a program that serves as a platform for impacting the lives of citizens. She's so inspired by nature and her environment that she developed personal relationship with her plants and even names them. Wow. She has carried out several transformative, eco-friendly initiatives, including transforming slums and swamps into lovely environment-friendly garden, some of which earned her the award as an Abuja Environmental Ambassador for 2018 and 2019. And currently, she is partaking in the 2024 Every Home a Garden of the First Lady's Renewed Hope Initiative, aimed at encouraging women to be self-sufficient. Please let's make welcome Honorable Dr. Dayo Benjamin Laniyi. You're very much welcome, ma'am.
Family, the urban farming family. Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Olusola, and thank you to all of the family members. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, ma'am. Thank you very much. Ma, could you just tell us a little bit about what you're doing at the moment with the Renewed Hope Initiative?
But right now, you see me branded. Renewed Hope Initiative is actually the advocacy of Her Excellency the First Lady, taking what was a campaign agenda renewed hope and transforming it into a humanitarian initiative that is driven by her vision and commitment for humanitarian action. It says, for every family, a better life. So, better life for every family everywhere. Through the advocacy of RHI, which is the acronym for Renewed Hope Initiative, the wives of all of the 36 executive governors of the Federal Republic of Nigeria are the coordinators of the initiative. I am just privileged here in the capital city, host and home of the presidential villa and our presidential first lady, to be the coordinator for the Federal Capital Territory. Now, there have been different programs: the Elderly Support Initiative, the food truck FCT Zero Hunger 6.0 across all the 6 area councils, the 62 wards of the Federal Capital Territory. There is also the Alternative Girl Child Education and also digital literacy for youth. There is the recently launched flag off of the 500,000 naira agricultural grant for women, and this is just the first 20. The beneficiaries are actually the poster, let me call it the billboard drivers of the visible intervention of Her Excellency's commitment to agriculture as food security for the nation through impacting communities. And this is going to be for 200 beneficiaries in every state of Nigeria, including the capital center, FCT. So you have the 20 beneficiaries, they have the grants, but much more than having the grant, they're going to have the technical support, supervision, training, and investment through the First Lady's initiative for their agricultural value chain. So if you're into crop cultivation or livestock, poultry, fish farming, whatever it is you do, as long as you have been identified as one of the beneficiaries, you don't need to have gotten the 500,000 naira grant. That was just to call everyone's attention. Every one of the 200 is going to be invested with seed, with tools, with training, upscaling, but the most impacting is the uptaking at the end. The harvest or the produce will be purchased again through the initiative and network of the First Lady, whether it's through NALDA or other goodwill partners that will be supporting this. Why? Because Her Excellency has seen that the Renewed Hope Initiative as an agricultural intervention is going to bring impact that ends hunger. In FCT, I say, "Ba yunwa ba fushi." If you are not hungry, you will not be angry. So that the anger and the divisive reaction amongst different citizens for different reasons as created in the context of accusation, or is it something partisan, or your tribe, I'm not an Injidin, you've come in to take our land. All of these things in the FCT are very real issues. But you know, where there's food and football and friendship, you find that religion, tribe, anger dissipates. Food is one of those things that makes people happy. And for the Renewed Hope Initiative of Her Excellency, which I'm privileged to coordinate, every home a garden, just like you're seeing me wearing right now, isn't just a competition, it is a message. This is a message which urban family farming itself is making a statement with. Because the only reason I'm here is because of this agricultural, what do we call it, revolution? Remember when we had OFN, for those of us who remember, Operation Feed Nigeria? It was something that really captivated the sensibilities of the entire nation. Now, if you and I say, where did that go? we should really ask ourselves. And for me, I celebrate our PS Mama Olushola for this initiative, for not just the initiative of the urban farming family initiative, but the fact that it's about food and farming and the initiative to invest and to create an entrepreneurial culture and value of neighborliness, in terms of the fact that you have too much for yourself. You give your neighbor, you give somebody in the neighborhood, together you can form a farmers market, a little in your little area, in your community. But best of all, you are feeding families and feeding the nation. So, Renewed Hope Initiative, that it would be better for every family. Ba Yunwa, ba Ishi.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
So we'll go on to our first question here. In addition to what you have said, what do you understand by the concept of who is your farmer, which is the series we're running now, and how can you relate it to the practice of urban family farming?
Well, let me start by making us laugh. You know the popular song, Who's Your Guy? You know, it's one of those things you ask the question, who's
Yeah,
your doctor? Who's
yeah,
your fashion designer? Who's your chef? Who's your makeup artist? All of these point to the fact that there is someone who brings a value to the way in which you either present yourself, or you have an improved lifestyle experience or connection or association. Because if I'm asking, who's your doctor, for instance, you're talking about health. No matter how I want to self medicate, in fact, self medication, we are warned, could actually end up killing you rather than healing you. So, who's your doctor? Go see your doctor. Go get diagnosed. Go do a test. Who's your doctor? Who's your stylist? We like the way you look, you package your market, the way you come out. There's somebody doing this for you. They're adding value.
yes,
Who's your friend? They say, show me
yeah,
your friend. Let me know who you are.
you are.
Who's
That's true.
your um whoever it is. So who's your farmer? We don't ask that question. In fact, it's the first time I was asked that question was when that question became a real reference for me, was when I was invited by this platform to come and share my own views, and from the place of my assignment, and the fact that now I'm becoming a walking billboard and advert for every home a garden,
Yeah,
I would have something to share, and trust that what I would have to share would connect with every one of us as shared knowledge and as family members. And I
yes,
thought
yes,
to myself, truly, who's my farmer? We never
yeah.
think of who our farmer is. I mean,
That's
I
true.
would want to go to Transcorp Hilton or a nice restaurant. I will eat all the food there, the buffet, a la carte, all of that. But who is not the best? I say, who's the celebrity chef that cooked this? Or, oh, I went for dinner. I went for this. Who's your caterer? Aha.
Yeah,
But nobody asks who actually brought the food to the table,
yeah,
in terms of grew all that food that is now the salad, the jollof rice, the dodo, all of these things that are menus began as seed, and somebody who serviced the food chain has given us the opportunity of an Owambe with all of the varied small and big chops. So who's your farmer? And when you look at that, you begin to think, it's a concept really that
yeah.
emphasizes the importance of knowing the source of our food. Would
Good.
you
That's
just, even when we want to drink water, we are careful about what we eat, who cooked it, but who grew our food.
good.
And because of the way in which we have um, kind of blanked out who our farmers are. We've not given farmers the priority, the celebration, the recognition of what they give to us, not just our bellies in terms of feeding our stomachs, but everything, the entire value chain. Food
That's true.
security begins with securing the lives of our farmers and giving not just value, investing in the farmers that feed us. So, who's your farmer for me in the context of urban family farming is it's not just about growing, it's like family planning. It takes a
Yeah,
plan, it takes something you put together for you
that's
to
true.
come out with the expression of what we don't just eat, but what we are particular about investing in. Every nation that is mindful to identify not just who the farmers are, but with the farmers as a national investment,
Yeah,
those nations, it's not just about the fact that they end up not being hungry and having food security, but
yeah,
really what they do is they bring into a place of visible distinction the GDP and the GDH. Because where you have a good farmer feeding the nation, you have a happy nation
that's true.
celebrating the farmers.
That's true. Exactly. That's true. Thank you so much, ma. You know, so we want to know, how can families living in the cities or municipal areas as we have in Abuja, with limited spaces available for agriculture practice, how can they practice urban family farming?
Well, I believe, first of all, it's a mindset. It's something you have to understand that there are no limits to. Yes, you may have limited space, but there are unlimited options. There are unlimited creative, innovative, even disruptive ways in which you can own a farm on your balcony, on your windows, rooftop gardening, outside. We have so much space, really, even in an environment where you say, oh, my landlord will not allow me to plant outside. Don't plant outside. Plant in pots, plant in bako bags, plant in buckets, plant in jerry cans that you can slice. Just plant one thing, something. I'm learning something just from Her Excellency's competition, Every Home a Garden. I decided to plant a garden. Now, I've always had a garden, but a garden more as an aesthetic adventure. I converted a swamp into a garden location that's now on Google Maps. And it's the only garden in the entirety of Life Camp. All these years before I came here, in the last 30 something years, it had just been one bush. Even though somebody had laid claim to it as a garden, it was still a bush and a swamp. And 8 years ago, I was inspired after getting moving into the neighborhood and having the swamp right next to our house. I asked my husband, that, sweetheart, please, can you invest in this place? I remember himself and he said, well, what do you want to do with bush? Today, my husband is the greatest landscape aesthetic artist. I am so busy doing my work as mandate secretary, my husband as pastor, a businessman, the husband of Adedayo, the father of all of our fantastic four children, and the entire province of Redeemed Youth Province 11 is a gardener principally. Before he does anything, he's busy with the swamp, the bush. What do you want to buy? Now he's investing everything in it. I was able to clear it, put in blades of grass. What am I saying? Start where you start. But I had a little space apart from the beautiful area that I greened and I preserved the trees that I never really paid attention to. Back of the house. When Madame, Her Excellency, the First Lady's competition came up, I said, even though I'm not going to be competing, I should become a reference. I should demonstrate by example that as the coordinator of the FCT, Every Home a Garden competition, I should be able to encourage people to do something, and I have to do it. So 2 months ago, I started. I'll be sharing with you the garden as it is now. That's where you saw me earlier on. But today, thanks to Auntie Stella, we were doing some more. I was able to harvest my cabbage, even though my cabbage is, I never knew that cabbages spent 3 months before I could have. You see, we just go and eat it, and some people just wait at 3 months to get one beautiful ball of live leaf cabbage. My
Wow.
goodness. So to do that today, I had to trim the base, take the leaves off, and I had a lovely home cabbage grown salad. Very simple. I just squeezed lemon, also plucked from my tree. I have this special tree that has two species of lemon that grow on it, and I was able to take from there, squeeze it over my cabbage. It was delicious. I also ate from my ugu that I had grown there, also delicious. I ate fish, but we will do aquaculture after. But what I'm trying to say is today we planted sage, parsley, what did you say, garlic chive. I've just had an amazing time. The therapy, after so much pressure doing what I do, to come home to my backyard and then start planting. See, you can plant vertical farming on our walls. Like I said, you can plant in bags. I'm planting yam and sweet potato in baco bags right now. Hydroponics, water, you start
That's good.
soilless farming, rooftop garden, like I said, with back whatever. There's a garden in every place. You can
Yes.
do it and you can be deliberate about it. So maximize space. Don't think limitation. Don't say, oh, I don't. Anywhere can be used. And the beautiful thing about Her Excellency's competition is that it's not just about nutrition, it is also aesthetics. It creates community, it brings families together, it helps
Yeah.
your chef appreciate. It helped me appreciate. I never really, I hardly have time to go to the market. I was shocked to find out that one pepper would be 1,000. So I'm able to grow in one um pepper bush, five of them. That's 5,000 I'm growing, and it's perennial. It will keep giving to me my 5,000 on 5,000. Somebody comes to visit me, I can package some nice fresh vegetables and give to them. Let me tell you, some things, they're just straight from heaven, and you just have a bit of heaven in your backyard, in your home. Every time you plant a garden in your home, you also have an inspirational go-to place. Mental health is so key in this
Yeah.
time, in this season, and in this city. Urbanization is, it drives you crazy. So much is going on, so much speed, so many demands, all of that. But you now have something that helps you to not just ease the tension, but to invest. So I encourage every one of us to find a little space, something. We have the experts. Yes, I don't have time. I don't have time, but I have friends. I have
Yeah.
someone, Chibe. Chibe went and got me Auntie Stella. Auntie Stella came to my house. She looked at the area. She said, no, we'll do it this way, do it that way. And now I have my corner, and it's great. Today, we planted in Asai a mini orchard. We planted bananas, soursop, pawpaw, a mini orchard right in my backyard.
Exactly.
And it's
Exactly.
the joy, not just of farming, but in 2 months, this is in 2 months, 2.5 months, the difference it's making. And just in time now, we're coming into the rainy season. Oh, there's so much to do. I just
Yes.
encourage everyone. Every home a garden means that we don't just create a greener world, a healthier environment where
That's
we're
true.
able to breathe, but more importantly, we're able to create something that is beautiful. Being you to the full and overflowing comes from our gardens. So
Yes. Yes.
let's plant.
Thank you so much. So, Newton, are you there?
Newton is there, just we can't hear him.
He's muted.
Oh, you're muted. Okay.
Mute.
Okay, I'm
Okay.
unmuted now. I'm
Okay.
unmuted
So you
now.
can take the next
Thank
one.
you so much. Thank you so much for your extensive response. Thank you so much. Um, we all know that the world over there is a clamor for people living with disabilities. How most government programs, exclude them from programming designs. So I would like you to shed more light on how they can be integrated into urban family farming. people living with disabilities?
Again, we must understand people living with disabilities do not have disabilities to be to live full lives in our communities. Three of the beneficiaries of the First Lady's grant, agricultural grant from the FCT, were women with disabilities. One in a wheelchair from Kulo, one who's deaf and dumb from Kuje, and another one who's on crutches from Karshi. These three women, nothing limited them. We brought in caregivers, we provided the opportunity and the platform. They already have farms, and they have one of them runs a poultry. Nothing is a disability when it comes to creating an inclusive community. So it's a decision. You don't need to give them pity. You give a person with disability opportunity to demonstrate their own capacity. And not just to demonstrate it, you invest in them by making certain that the infrastructure, the architecture, the channels, coming in, going out, you create channels of communication. Like, you must make sure, even for this kind of program, we should have people who are able to translate for the deaf and the dumb. Somebody could be watching us now who is unable to hear us. But if we had somebody online doing the sign language, they would be able to communicate. And even when it comes to later viewership, they are able to enjoy it. You can take it. So I believe this is something we should all together begin to see, begin to determine that inclusion begins with me. I must see myself. I've come to realize that it's such a slim line between disability and the fact that you may be all put together. There could be an accident. You have a spinal cord injury. You could fall in a bath. Anything could happen. You lose sight. Anything could happen. From a fever, you go deaf. Something else happens. The human body is so complex. You find that you are dumb. Disability isn't something you are born with just like that. It is something that can happen to anyone. Our humanity must determine that we embrace them. So when it comes to urban farming, as much as we have persons with disabilities within our urban architecture, ecosystem, communities, first of all, access is very important. Can they even reach those locations where they are? Are you able to reach them? And then in reaching them, are we creating opportunities that also help them to scale their capacity, or just their interest and their love and their own engagement with the fact that every home and garden is a competition they also want to compete in? We are not complete until we are all together in that place. So people who are living with disabilities, women, young girls, is an incredible place to integrate, create intersections, and a good place also to teach social skills of emotional connection and sensibility to children and to leadership. Area council, local government, women community leaders, everybody must be trained and retrained that at any point in time, the Disability Act says there must be at least 5% representation of persons with disabilities. So even for you, urban farming family, who are your disability farmers? You must begin to showcase them, profile them. It helps everyone to realize that we are truly a family. Accessible garden designs, adaptive tools, technology, like I said, simple translation, very important for persons with disabilities. The fact that we have inclusive community advocacy programs. When people see that you have people with disability as part of the value chain. I work with the Karamajiji disability community. There is a social welfare supervisor, Esther. I mean, she has a whole list of farmers. They are ready to go to work. They have farms. They are ready to be part of the value chain. And there's always something a person with disability can do that you and I are too distracted to do. But they, because of their challenge, are focused and will be able to maximize that turnover, that yield, something in that entire value chain. It may be that the harvest comes in, you need to separate wheat from chaff. I don't know. I can't say it all. But what I do know is that there's always something that persons with disabilities have a special ability to do that is distinct from what everybody generally does but doesn't do with the right kind of commitment, focus, and delivery. Virtual farming platforms are very important. And so by being deliberate, I say the difference between intention and intentionality is your action. We must bring action. As an urban farming family, it means we are closer to the center, where the policies, where the acts, where the different laws require domesticating from what is at a national to a sub-national intervention. You and I must, can, will do this. And that is why we are family. We are family. I've got all my sisters. You can see I love singing as I love gardening and being able to settle in and celebrate just these kind of expressions. It's all part of completing each other, not competing one against the other. And persons with disabilities have nothing holding them back. They can fully participate if we give them full participatory access and support. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma. Thank you so much, ma. Um, I'll be talking about the Sustainable Development Goal 5, especially as it relates to women and girls. And of course, the SDG Goal 5, which talked about achieving gender equality and empowering all women and girls. Of course, we know that it's not just a fundamental human right, but it's necessary in order for us to have a very good foundation for a peaceful, prosperous, and sustainable world. Now, we want to ask you this question because when we looked at your profile, we found out that even before this particular position that you're occupying for women as a mandate secretary, you have served and you are still serving in several transforming life transforming programs like we mentioned, the Dream Africa, the Bold and Beautiful, etc. So now we want to talk about women and girls. How do you think that urban family farming can contribute to a more sustainable and locally focused food system in relation to women and girls? Thank you.
Women and girls are the epicenter and pivot of community investment. When you invest in a woman, you invest not just in her, you invest in her family. She's not gonna do a gender separation. She's going to feed her husband, her sons, her father, and other people. That is a woman. Everything comes together. The adolescent girl for me is an incredible DNA when it comes to the value chain of women and girls. Why? The adolescent girl is vital. I call her, she's the most vulnerable and yet the most valuable. She's too old to be the baby girl, so she has the strength to be able to send to the farm to do things. She's got the creative inspiration, innovation, ideation. Once you're able to drop an idea in an adolescent girl, it becomes an expression. And she has the youth with which to create adventure out of what is seemingly ordinary. Herself and her friends will create moments of fun and time with, girlfriend, girly, sister to sister kind of relationships. That's what adolescent girls do or should be doing if you create the right kind of environment without all of the toxic scenarios that end up exploiting them, violating them. The gender based violence challenge for an adolescent girl, for any woman, is a very significant one. But you know what? Women and girls, for me, I found out once I can invest in them something that makes them happy, whatever happens or has happened to them, they will always have an emotional strength and resilience to work through and to come through. What should break them down emotionally with depression or contort and convert them into an aggressor or a bitter woman with a bitter ending. Once you can bring an intervention of what I call GDH, gross domestic happiness, not just GDP, gross domestic product. So I'm not about economic value chains because I give a woman money to make her happy. I've seen millionaires and millionairesses that are sad women. It's not the money, it's the investment of something that works in them, that happiness with which they can transform any situation. You call it poverty, they will create prosperity. What am I talking about? Even with this assignment, urban farming family, see yourself as being a family member, a big sister to the adolescent girls. What I did was I set up, and I've done, so it's not something that I'm talking hypothetically. During the 16 days of activism, through the counsel of the First Lady, I was able to convert activism into advocacy, and I decided to work with adolescent girls to take the message of GBV into the 62 wards, 6 area councils, the 17 tribal chiefdoms of the Federal Capital Territory, where my assignment and constituency is women and adolescent girls, but also children. Now, in doing this, when you speak or work through the vital connect channel of an adolescent girl, you are going to be impacting youth in the community because girls as women will always attract attention. And we were able to create out of the 62 wards a blockchain. 5 girls per 62 wards gave me 310 girls. I call them the orange girls from all over the FCT communities in the 6 area councils. With the supervision of the community ward women leaders, as well as the wives of the royal highnesses, traditional rulers in the 17 chiefdoms of the FCT, with the paramount ruler of the honor of Abuja, the wives of the 6 area council chairmen, we have come up with an integrated value chain of impact that is able to go all the way down to where these young girls do what only young girls can do. Because yes, the mamas, we can talk. So I'm at the center. I'm at the urban center. I had these girls brought to area 10. Do you know we had 18-year-old girls in FCT who were born in FCT in Abaji that had never crossed the border of Abaji to come into FCT Amak. Area 10 to them was like I took them to New York, Amsterdam, or somewhere. They were weeping. They couldn't believe anyone would give them that kind of attention or opportunity. We were able to use it to speak to them and begin to change their mindset. And we had some amazing testimonies coming out of that. But I want to bring it to the value chain we're talking about now. Right now, we're setting up the orange girls because, you know, the color, the theme for 16 days of activism is orange. So we're able to now call them the orange girls. And then I found out, thank you, Auntie Stella and Mommy Olusola, that the orange sweet potato has the highest nutritional value. And when you make it flour, orange flour, vitamin A, vitamin everything to everything for the adolescent girl, for her skin, for her own growth in terms of her hormonal development, for all of the biology of her femininity that is required for later on in life, her menstrual cycle, all in this orange flower. What do you think I've done? I'm bringing them together. They're all going to be planting vines across the 62 area councils, 310 girls. They're going to be impacting 5 girls each. That is 1,550 girls aggregated again, because each one is going to get another one. That is, somebody help me, 4,000 and something. Just like that. Sustainable, scalable, and enjoyable. It aggregates. So for me, it's creating economy. Am I planning to stop there? No. One, I'm going to show them off at COP. But before we do that, at UNGA, at AU, at ECOWAS, online, here in Abuja, I want to see us selling the Orange Girls flower, doing cookies, cakes, bread, you name it, Orange Girls. And people will say, oh, oh, oh. But what is it essentially? The value chain of orange, sweet potato flour. So really, that's my idea. You can ideate on anything, even if it's only water leaf. You tell these girls as they're doing the sugar sweet potato, can you also plant? Okay, plant stevia. Plant stevia is healthy, so that rather than there being sugar, don't put sugar in your body. Let's use stevia, liquidize it. I understand that, again, there's this amazing sister in the urban family farming value chain who is into stevia production here in Abuja. This is incredible. I'm like, wow, wow, wow. Where have we all been? What are we all doing? If this can happen with intentionality, like now I'm connecting with this family, how much more, how many more families can this family propagate? It's not to compete, it's to complete each other. How is it a coincidence now that Her Excellency is doing every home a garden, and then you have urban family farming, and then somebody is calling me? I'm getting all kinds of offers. People just want to invest in this value chain. And just like I keep saying, you don't need to win 20 million naira in December to know you have become a winner through this intervention and this investment. You are able to do something so vital and so impactful. I think I'm talking too much. I've become a preacher. I'm just so inspired by this whole urban farming thing, and the fact that I can connect it to my
Yeah,
girls, to women through this,
yeah.
the first lady, all of us. We must do it. We can do it. And in doing this, don't forget, we're investing in women to this year. The International Women's Day theme is count her in, invest in her, and accelerate her progress. Now, counting, I counted 5 per community. But if you now begin to work out how many per community really I'm impacting, it's nothing less than the first 11, because the women community leaders, the area council wives, the da 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 da, it just keeps building. And what it builds into, what it aggregates to, will be something that in a year, or when I'm, because His Excellency the Honorable Minister of the FCT actually gave us an FCT day for the adolescent girl child, 10th of December. So I am hopeful that this year, 10th of December 2024, we will be showcasing, profiling just what happened with the Orange Girls. These same Orange Girls, they're all from secondary schools. It's not like I just picked up rural girls, but I don't have any problem working with the rural girls, because the reason why we picked up the girls from, or we identified them within the secondary school value chain, is because of education, nutrition, education. We want to be able to work literacy and quickly aggregate it. But at the same time, we know that they become peer educators, peer influencers, peer trainers. On Monday, they are going to become ambassadors for the Geneva Train End Malaria and Beyond because we're bringing them from all over to the city center again, and they are going to be trained to return to the 62 wards and begin to kick malaria out. They are returning with mosquito nets. They're going to go and get us data. They're going to be speaking with women who are pregnant, women who just had babies. It's such a versatile, it's like seed. It's like we're investing in them, and very quickly they're propagating. There are no excuses. Oh, I can't do this. Why would they come and use us? What are they giving us? No, 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 no. They're just happy that we have given them a value that they never knew they had until we were able to integrate with them. So we're fostering community connections. I am not an indigene. I'm not Bagi. I'm not Guadara. I am not. No, 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 no. What I am is a Nigerian in the epicenter of Nigeria. I'm an Epsitarian. Yes, I'm a woman from the community of faith. And even though people say it was a Muslim ticket, I am a full-blown tongue-speaking Christian who is able to connect with full-blown Allahu Akbaru Muslims. And we are able together to move from Bismillah to Alhamdulillah, because it is well with being a Nigerian first above being anything else. And when we're able to work the power of unity through our investment in agriculture, food has no color to it that has anything that separates us by tribe, by religion, by gender agendas, by anything. It's just that when you use a woman, she is not just a soft landing. She is a guaranteed point of entry for the immersion and domestication of things that happen by policy or by national acts from the National Assembly, particularly for women and girls. We may not have enough of us in the Senate, but I have 310 girls, and they will take senatorial action through agricultural diversity and dissemination. Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, man. I can see the way you were using with passion, you know, we're talking about women and girls. And I can't wait to see the impact of your 310 girls, the orange girls. I can't wait to see. I've even
Well, I want to
documented.
believe that you will invest in them too. I want to
Yes,
believe
yes.
that urban farming family will adopt 310 orange girls. I'm challenging you,
That,
not just to hear me today, but to tell me that we are going to be there with you on Monday. We are going to bring you seeds, and we are going to give you 310 packages. Are you here? Are you saying yes?
No problem.
I think the urban family farming founder is listening to you, and I'm sure she will do much more than that. She's also
Uh,
very passionate about women and girls.
OVA,
Very.
you. Before I go to urban family founder, you farmer, urban family farmer, what are you going to do as a big brother,
Fantastic.
as a big uncle?
I'll be. In fact, from the Sector Skill Council for Agric and Agri Processing, we'll be supporting this
Yay!
effort.
You're now the orange uncle.
Yes.
The orange uncle indeed.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. So we
Okay.
would
Yes.
allow the audience to speak, but before then, we want you in 2 minutes to just share some of the challenges you think will be faced by people living in the cities that may be intending to practice urban family farming or may have started practicing urban family farming. So, what are some of the challenges that are faced by people living in the
Like I
cities?
said, I just believe
Practicing
it's
urban
a mindset thing. I believe it's a mindset thing. Because yes, you can say, oh, I don't have land, there's limited space, oh, it's high cost of input resources. But every one of us eats a pawpaw and you throw the seed away. Find somewhere to plant it. I found it. The soursop we planted today was from seed that I had eaten the soursop. I even forgot I planted it. And it had grown, and it was Auntie Stella who recognized it for what it was and said, come on, let's plant here. So zoning regulations, legal restrictions, there will always be something to say no, but there's always a way you can navigate through no and arrive at a wow. I always say you go from how to wow. That is doable, more so in such times as this. Abuja is just an urban adventure. that we can work with. The grass I planted in my swamp, I cultivated from Lagos Street, Gariki village, in a small
Mm.
place. When I moved from there to my Tama Ministers Hill, it was that grass I took. It was too much for my little townhouse. I planted in all my neighbors' houses. From there, when I moved to Life Camp, I was able to put in my garden space grass that I planted, my Port Harcourt grass. And then in my 3 hectares, 3 hectares, hear this, so yes, I have a garden, 3 hectares, where you have a piece. I took that same grass, and that is where I went to plant grass that started from Lagos Street, Gariki. How many years ago? My goodness, that's like 15, 20, 22 years ago. Wow.
Mm.
That grass is still growing green. No, come on. Don't give me, I don't
Fantastic.
have, don't give, there's no excuse. I say if you have space to put a mosque, to put a church, you have space you can find to put a garden. You don't need to buy land. Look at the men, all these gardeners, horticulturists, street side, along the road. They just take advantage. Put something that you see something will start one, two, three. After a while, you will see 12. But nobody really disturbs them because you know what? They're beautifying the city. Nobody's going to go there
Mm.
and say we are going to use bulldozer to clear them, except they're really constituting a nuisance. So they have economy, they have opportunity. And honestly speaking, no excuses. Really, really, what if you want to, if anybody can say there's a challenge, but honestly, I think this is the kind of challenge we should all rise up to and just become expressions of something distinctive, creative, and disruptive. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ma. We really,
Sorry,
really appreciate.
excuse me
Thank you
while
very
I
much.
shout because somebody needs to come and help me put that video on. Precious, I want to show you my garden today. I don't know how to see it now. Please, will you post this thing and put it there? I want to watch my garden, please. Thank you.
Hey, fantastic.
I know serious, no. Me and that garden, no.
Fantastic. So while
Thank
while that is
you.
coming up, would like to look at the questions
Where's the
from the
picture?
audience. Are there questions from the audience? Please, you can ask your questions. You can put them in the comment section. While that is coming up, I think we have questions from the audience.
You know, I'd like to also say that, you know, when it comes to government, policymakers, create an enabling environment. Sometimes you're waiting for government. You yourself can sponsor a bill. We can do things. Nothing stops us. Nothing stops us. Ireti Kingibe is in the house. What can she do with women, climate change, urban farming, all of these things? We can come together and we can drive that and discharge it. We can, there's so much. There's too much. The orphanages that we have, oh, they don't have food and everything. Have you gone to plant farm there? Have you gone to help them set up a value chain there? We are saying we are hungry, buy you one, buy you one, buy you one. And for that reason, people go and break down warehouses and want to kill and what they call it. Meanwhile, their own food security. Look at what happens. People want to make money from land in Abuja. Instead of planting banana trees that grow bananas, they just plant things that grow nothing just so that people will come and pay for quote unquote economic trees. Then you pay for the tree. And in 3 days, by the time you look, those trees have been rooted out. They've gone to plant them in someone else's land so that they can begin to count. How do I know? I have experienced it. If I own 3 hectares of garden land and another, I know exactly what the wickedness of the wicked has been. Instead of planting palm, you go and plant fake economic trees. You put cashew tree, you crowd the place, and the cashews are not able to crop with the right kind of. No, if this is a land for growing cashew, then for goodness sake, grow the cashew and let's get real value.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma. uh, uh, in fact, I had to double check your profile if I was interviewing the agricultural minister.
Very funny.
Well done.
Oh
Thank you so
my
much, ma.
gosh.
So we have one question from I think our Facebook page or so. Um, and the person is asking how she can connect with the Every Home a Garden program.
Oh, it's online. If you go, it's advertised. If you just put every home a garden, you see first ladies competition. And what we need you to do, you must be a first time farmer. You must be a woman, and you must grow the farm, the garden in your backyard. You must prepare a 3 minute video. It closes in October. Winners will be announced in December. So what are you still waiting for? This is the rainy season. Go ahead. And I might as well use the opportunity to also let you know that there's a Unity Fabric competition. Entries are closing in June, and the winner gets 25 million naira. Now, what that is simply about celebrating the creativity and the industry of the Nigerian youth, coming up with a fabric design that Nigeria will celebrate on 1st of October 2024, courtesy of the First Ladies Innovation. So come on, everyone. There's so much to get connected with, get creative about, and innovate. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you
Have you
so
done?
much, ma. Um,
All right. I
thank you so
understand
much, ma.
something has to come on my system, so I'm listening. So put it on the system. Go on. Don't worry.
Okay,
I'm creative.
There's
so
another question.
while that comes up, I want to ask the second question. Somebody is
Yeah.
asking if the size of the container, maybe the bucket, sack, polythene bag, if it affects the yam yield, because we saw the person saw the Irish potato and the yam that you were growing in your backyard. So it's asking if it affects the yield,
Well,
the
I
size
will
of the
just say
container.
that definitely if you give yam more room, yam will grow. But the truth of the matter is, you still get a good harvest from it. But let Madam Olusola or Madam Stella my tutorial lecture on my planting, my urban farm. Please give you uh, a better profile. Thank you.
Okay, so Mommy Olishola, the founder, Urban Family Farming, are you there? Can you respond to that, please?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, can you respond to that question, please?
Well, I would say that the size of a container or a bucket actually affects the yam yield. You can use what's it called now, cement bag. You can use rice bag to grow yam, but you cannot use something smaller than that because that will
Yeah.
now affect the size of the yam. Even to grow yam inside the sand is not too good. You have to make ridges. You have to make ridges so that you grow it such that the yam will have space to grow fatter. That is what I can say. So the size of
Fan-
the container will affect the size of the yam. But in
Okay,
conventional,
fantastic.
what
Thank you so much.
what you have been
Um,
using is
thank you so much. And just like the Monday secretary just said, you will still get a good yield, right?
Yes.
And you still be able to get yam for your family to eat.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's it. Yeah, so you are utilizing the space rather than allowing it to waste. So you shouldn't look at it as a challenge. So that person shouldn't look at
Oh,
the size of the sack or
I
the
mean,
size of the land he or she is putting as a challenge.
definitely.
The most important thing, just like she said, is just plant, and get something out.
yes.
You know, get
Plant.
something out.
Okay, I want to show you my video now. Let's play this for
Okay.
you.
Okay.
It's like while they're sorting it out. So yes, go ahead and plant. And don't forget that is the yam head from your from the yam that you bought and you cooked that you're going to go and plant. It continues growing even without
Yes.
putting it into the soil. So I mean it's something that I believe that we should all just see as something we can do.
Fantastic.
While we're still trying to, there
Fantastic.
it is.
Fantastic.
So
So what before
yes.
that comes up, I would like to throw this question. Um, so for a for somebody who doesn't have, okay, is it connected? Is it connected now? Okay, so it's still open. For someone who doesn't have connection in terms of he or she doesn't have a land, right? And probably living in an environment where he or she may not be able to plant. Is the government going to provide, or is the government providing somewhat like a can there be opportunity for somewhat like a space that people who do not have access to plant can come together and plant on, supported by the government, something like that,
You are really
something like that.
convinced. Now I know you really believe that you think you are talking to the Minister of Agriculture or the Mandate Secretary for Agriculture. Or maybe even to my honorable minister himself. But one thing I do know is this: the FCT administration is not doing business or farming as usual, and we are committed. We are committed to doing things that will encourage that
Plant
value.
a garden
Okay.
in your home and
Okay,
just do
it's
that.
playing now.
You think many times the farm is for this rural woman from some local village around you. No, 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 no. It's you, it's me, maybe even your dog. Get
Uh,
your rake.
we can't see the video yet, but we can
I'm
hear the
just
audio.
looking at Auntie Stella. This
You
talks to
can
me
hear the
about
music, you
now.
can't see the video.
This is
All
every
right, while we're trying to sort
woman.
that out, can you hear what I'm saying? You know what? I'll
Yes.
just send it to Mommy Olusola. Maybe you watch it another
Okay.
time, so we don't distract
Okay.
you. Thank you.
Uh,
Please send it
so
to Mommy
you can send it to her. We still have some time while we're taking some
All right,
questions. You
we'll
can send
send
it
it
to
to
her
you
right
right now,
away.
please.
You can send it to her right away because we are live
Thank
now, and a lot of
Okay.
people are waiting to watch that video. You know, I
Well,
myself
I'd
am
like to say
waiting to watch
something
that video.
about what you said. So, what I believe is like urban farming family. This is why I say you can come together, you become an advocacy group. It's like you can make these requests. There's so much land, it is going to provide value. For instance, I came into this mandate, this assignment, 6 months and 3 days ago, actually. And one of the projects that I inherited is a farm that has been farming, that has been redundant, fallow, sorry, for the last 20 years. And it has a warehouse, everything built is in Kuje, it is in prime location. So what am I doing? I'm converting it into a demonstration farm. We're working with it. I found people there, we're putting it together. Of course, I am getting the valued intervention of your own technical support in doing this and others. And I want to believe that we'll end up with a Kuje Women's Market, something that will help to bring a central sharing market sales point for women farmers and anyone in that value chain. We can create a market day that is not just a physical on-site location, but we will also make digital, create an online market for it. People get to anticipate, people get to experience just market day, create cultural shows with it and everything. So while you may not eat the food, I'm going to make sure it's creative in the sense that it's not just market day selling things at the market, but we are packaging our market so that people will come to Abuja and say, where's that Kuje Women's Farm? Because at that Kuje Women's Farm, we will have performances, we will have shows, we will have women talking about what they call it. You just create an experience out of it. So it's not just like I say, it's not business, it's not farming as usual. We just make farming pop and make it really what people want to watch. Everybody loves reality shows these days, and God knows anything feeds everything. So we just got to make sure at least we're all here. We have people who are viewing us now. They could be doing something other. I don't know if it's something better, but I do know that they're with us. So thank you, everyone
Thank
who's
you so much.
online. We really appreciate your attention. And I want to
Thank
believe
you.
that right now, you're looking around you and saying, where's that space? Just, you know what, you shouldn't take us pictures and send to Urban Farming Family, and they will give you that advice. Like I got advice, and if you see my first video, you'll notice that there's a wall with all kinds of mold behind it. I'm going to clean that mold, and I'm going to bring out my paint, and I'm going to do some artwork, some graffiti for myself in that place. So I'm turning it into my enjoy myself. Yeah, what was that song? I say, who's your guy? Who's your farmer? What's the other one? What's that song? Allow me to enjoy myself. Allow me to enjoy my farm. Allow me to enjoy my home. Allow me to enjoy my garden.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you so so much. In fact, I've been smiling all through, Madam Minister of Agri. Oh, sorry, FCT.
Ah, ah,
You know what? You're really saying so much about the agriculture. You're so passionate. Again, I said earlier on, and I'm thinking that you know I am interviewing the Minister of Agri, but then again, this
yeah,
is not the Minister of Agri. So I'm so happy
no,
that you implementing the renewed hope agenda, and somebody is
yes,
asking a question, a very important question, and the person is saying that how can we collaborate together, especially working with young people in FCT, to encourage them to embrace agriculture and the value chain, campaign,
please
advocacy,
send in
etc.
your
I'll
proposals.
take the
I am
second.
getting.
I'll,
Mhm.
I'll take the second question
All right,
together.
all right.
Again, I'll take the second question together. The second one is going to be directed to the Madam Olushola. I think the question says that one of the challenges people encounter in creating or making gardens is the probability of it harboring dangerous reptiles like snakes and scorpions and all. So how do we counter that? Then the
Please.
last question, which talks about explanation on how we can key into every home a garden. Of course, the the mandate secretary has said that there's a website. We will be posting the website too on the UFF family YouTube page so that
So
you
the
can
advert.
reach out directly. Okay, so man, you can answer your question, man. Thank you.
Can I? Okay. Let me start with the one about snakes. You know, when I came
Okay.
here, they made me so afraid. They told me there'll be snakes everywhere, almost like there are snakes flying. Honestly, I've not seen any snake. What makes me sad
Hmm.
is that we killed crocodiles. Well, not what they call monitor lizards, beautiful monitor lizards, and I realized that was environmentally illiterate of me. Just because you're afraid of something they are not used to doesn't mean they couldn't have been caught and kept in a zoo or something. I really feel guilty about that. Um, the most I've seen are my dogs when they go out at night, they catch these bush rats, and my dog is very amazing. He will take the bush rat and go and put it in front of the security guard's place. In other words, telling him, cook it for me, make it part of my dog lunch. But so sincerely, when we are told to be wise as serpents in the Bible, it means that a serpent can live in your environment, your habitat, and you won't even know. Discretion and all of that is all part of it. So, yeah, I mean, I live in an environment where um, you should be seeing snakes. So I think I'll have to ask Mom Yunus, you know what? Snakes too, they don't like urban centers. Really, they would rather move away. Snakes too are afraid of people. It's just that we are afraid of snakes. Snakes want an environment where they are free. And so if they find that urbanization has come, snakes will move away. I think that for me is one answer. The rest of it we will get from the experts. Concerning the request for the Every Home a Garden competition, I believe what we can do, I think, Mommy Olusola, you cut the video so that it would only show where I was in the garden because I know I had the ad, but I'll try and get my media team right now to send the full ad so you can play that and keep playing it on your own video, your own YouTube channel so people can get that information and then maybe they can start uploading their videos. Um, and then what was the first question again? It had to do with, pardon? That first question. I've done the one on snakes. I've done the one on the adverts. There was a first question that had to do with. I didn't write it down. My apologies. It's escaped me now. I'm sure you remember Ovie and let me know. But are we ready? The video has been sent to you, ma. Yes, ma'am. The video is with you now. Now, thank you very much. Any more questions?
Is echoing, is echoing, is echoing, is echoing, is echoing.
Oh, it's echoing. It's well. We can only try. We keep getting better as we go along.
Okay. I'm going to say the last that question, why that is doing. That question you wanted to address was how can we collaborate together, especially working with young people in FCT to encourage them to embrace agriculture and the value chain, campaign, advocacy, etc.
Well, I'm only one of 9 mandate secretaries. What we represent across the 9 secretariats is the administration of opportunity in all references. Concerning youth, that is a priority. Through the Social Development Secretariat, we are able to engage youth and prioritize whatever your program, your project, your intervention is, and you want to be able to put there. For me, the gender filter gives you an opportunity to connect with women, with children, and with adolescent girls. I've already told you about 310. But the fact of the matter is, whether it's health, the environment, education, agriculture, revenue and economic empowerment, all of these different administrative channels are conduits for you and your youth oriented idea or intervention to find something to connect with, an intersection with which to go forward. So, what are you still waiting for, really? For me, I've told people, bring in your proposals. With your proposals, we are now able to give. This is it's a universe. There's opportunity for everybody. There are no deals here other than the best deal ever, which is that freely we have been given and freely we give. This is a blessing and an opportunity that has come to me by God and by government and by political appointment. And I'm here to serve. That's my own assignment. I'm not just here for the women, I'm here for the men too. Thank you.
Yes, I like that. I'm here for the men too, because I
Yeah,
can hear some
because
men grumbling
the men, no,
or
the men kept
complaining.
saying we men too. I said it's good that you are saying we men too, because we men number 2. Let me deal with women number 1.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you
You're
so much.
welcome.
Okay, so I think what we will do is we'll share that video on the UFF YouTube page so that people can access it directly. We'll share it on the UFF YouTube page. They can access it directly. So immediately after, it will be put on the platform, and so you can access it the same way you were able to view this live program. You'll be able to view that video. Thank you so much. So I'll be calling on the founder to just say a few words, and then from then on we'll be bringing in the president of the Urban Family Farming for his closing remarks. So Mommy Olushola, a few words, please.
Okay. Okay.
Olushola first, please. Mommy Olushola first, please. It's just a few words. Just thank you quickly before we bring in the president.
Brand new thing. It's echoing. It's echoing. There's an echo. There's an echo. There's an echo. There's an echo, and it's starting all over again. I don't know why.
Okay. So can you
There's
hear
an
me?
echo.
Can you hear me now? Wow, that's a beautiful dog. Okay. Can you hear me? I'm sure you can hear me now. Okay, so quickly let's just
New thing.
Yeah.
It's echoing. It's echoing. It's echoing. Brand new thing.
It's not echoing. We can hear well.
We can hear well. It's not echoing. We can hear well. So I think it's from your
It's
end.
not echoing, man.
It's not
We
echoing.
can hear
It's from
very
your
well,
end.
man.
So just try. Maybe maybe your YouTube is on. Just put it off. Maybe just close the YouTube and then focus on the backstage. Focus on the backstage.
Send them the advert from Busola.
Okay, so I'm sure the president is ready for closing remarks. We want to be very time conscious. We said by 7:30 we'll be ending this program, and we want to keep to that time. And so we'll be inviting the president of the Urban Farming Family Community Limited. But before I invite him, I want to just say that the president of the Urban Farming Family Community Limited, Reverend Dr. Babatunde Idowu, is the Wuse District General Overseer of the Foursquare Gospel Church, and is the president of both Golan Helps Initiatives and the Urban Family Farmers Community Limited. He is currently the Pro-Chancellor of McPherson University in Ogun State. So please let's make welcome the president of Urban Farming Family Community Limited and the president of Golan Helps Initiatives for his short closing remarks. Thank you, sir.
Thank you all. And I believe that it's been a good time looking at the issue of who is our farmer. And it's important to know that when you know who your farmer is, or you are even able to be your own farmer, it's giving the access to everyone to have the ability to have fresh and locally sourced food. And that will also contribute to better health to that individual as well as to everybody around us. From the discussion that we have heard, it's important that why do we need this issue of who is your farmer? It's because good and healthy food is a fundamental aspect of living a healthy life. And our involvement in urban farming or community farming activities can promote physical activities and outdoor exposure. And that in itself helps it to improve our physical and mental health. It also helps us to spend some time in outdoor engagement, in gardening, taking some tasks, and doing some things that will reduce stress, anxiety, depression, and so on. And we've had our mandate secretary for the FCT expatiate on that. So the important thing now is for everyone who has participated to make sure that, well, they get engaged in urban farming today. It's like Operation Feed Yourself. That's the message we are passing across. And we are saying that now that we have started this series, more series will be coming up. And we expect you to please join us in our next episode of Who is Your Farmer? And we'll be having another guest. You can subscribe to this farmer, to this panel. Hello, let me just wrap up very quickly. Brad Newton, are you still with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
So please let me just wrap up quickly to thank our mandate secretary for the FCTA, Dr. Adedayo Benjamin Nani, for agreeing to be our guest for the first time episode at such a short notice. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
A round of applause, please. A round of
From my
applause.
farm.
Wow. Fantastic. Fantastic. So thank you so much, President of Urban Farming Family Community Limited. Thank you so much. Mommy, would you like to just say a shout out to us before we say bye-bye? Can you just okay. I think you're having some I think that she's having some
no, she's
audio.
muted. She's only muted. Unmute
Okay.
her.
Can you unmute yourself?
Please, I just want to say a big thank you to the Honorable Dr. Mrs. Adedayo Benjamin Lani for being our first guest at a very short notice. We want to say a big thank you to you, and we believe that God will continue to help you to give you wisdom on this job. We perfect all that concerns you in Jesus.
Thank you so much. So, Ma, in 1 minute, can you just say shout out to the Urban Farming Family Community Limited and everyone listening to you? Just in 1 minute, Honorable Dr. Dayo Benjamin Lani. Just 1 minute, can you just say shout out and bye?
This is a shout out to the urban farming family. And where would you rather be? Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so
Let's
much.
go and grow our gardens.
Yes, it's been a very good night. It's been a very good time with you. I've enjoyed every bit of the 1 hour, 30 minutes with the FCTA mandate secretary, who I almost mistakenly called the Minister of Agri because of our passion for agriculture. Thank you so much. See you.